G'day guys, Disney Dave coming at you once again from Down Under. Today we are doing something that's a little bit different for me. I haven't actually done one of these videos before. We're experimenting a lot lately. We've been doing quite a bit of different things on this channel. I'm really excited. Now, if you have been keeping up with my channel, you know that I went to see Star Wars Rogue One in the cinemas on Wednesday evening 2 times. I caught a 6:30 PM preview screening for the Walt Disney Company here in Melbourne, and then I headed across to my local cinema to see the 12 AM midnight session, which was really awesome. Now, one of the things that really stood out for me in the 2 screenings of this film was just how much of the trailers didn't make it into the movie. Now, of course, big Star Wars fan that I am, eagerly anticipating this movie, watched the trailers over and over and over again, and there were certain parts that I was really looking forward to, whether it be a cool line of dialogue or a really awesome visual sequence that I've just been waiting for the whole movie to come. And then it got to a point in the movie where you were like, oh, this bit's got to be coming up, it's got to be coming up, and then it just never came. And looking back at the trailers, I've realized just how much of the trailers didn't make the movie. I would hazard a guess and say that, especially in the first couple of trailers, a good 80% of the footage didn't make the movie. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back and we're going to rewatch the 3 major trailers, and we're going to dissect them. We're going to look at them and we're going to point out what wasn't in the film, maybe why it wasn't in the film. Well, yeah, I do have to say, big spoiler warning. I'm going to just go on a tangent here. I'm going to let loose. I'm going to talk about this movie. So if you haven't seen this movie, turn this video off now, put it in your to watch later list or whatever it's called, and come back to it later. But there's going to be a whole lot of stuff here that wasn't in the movie. Some of the stuff I'm a bit disappointed in, other stuff not so much. So we're going to start at the beginning. As I said, we're going to watch 3 trailers, starting with the Rogue One Star Wars Story official teaser trailer. This is the one that went up April 7th, 2016. This is a 2-minute trailer, and we're going to look through it and we're going to basically dissect it. I'm going to be pausing it, I'll talk about it a little bit, and hopefully this video doesn't go for too long, and hopefully it's a little bit interesting since this is the first of these I've done. If it goes well, we'll do some more in the future. Okay, so let's press play on this one.
State your name for the record.
Jyn Erso.
Okay, pause. First off, she's walking in the rebel base wearing handcuffs. Didn't happen in the movie. She was kidnapped by the rebels after being imprisoned already, and the rebels broke her out of her handcuffs, and they basically said to her, you're imprisoned, so if you don't come with us, then we're just going to leave you here to rot, basically. So she goes to the rebel base of her own will, and here we go, we have her in the handcuffs, and there's that line of dialogue there where they say, state your name, and she says, Jyn Erso. That wasn't dialogue in the movie. In fact, in the movie, she sits down and I think it was the general comes up to her and says, your name is Jyn Erso, is it not? Or something like that, because she's been going under an alias. So she doesn't actually state her name.
Forgery of imperial documents, possession of stolen property, aggravated assault, resisting arrest.
I should say that this movie apparently went under extensive reshoots. They reshot the last section of the movie, and they apparently also reshot a good chunk of the first section of the movie. There were rumours going, it's too violent. There were other rumours saying it doesn't feel Star Wars enough. There were other rumours saying some dialogue was chunky, some story plots were a bit clunky. So they went back and they did a lot of reshoots. It looks like in the early version of this movie, for some reason, Jyn Erso is captured by the rebels and forced into going on this mission. Whereas in the end, the story has come that she sort of does it of her own free will. And here we've got this basically rap sheet of all these offences that she's caused, and it sounds like the rebels are going, oh, you've aggravated assault, blah 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 blah, and it sounds like they've captured her, they've imprisoned her and said, well, we can charge you under all these things if you don't do this for us, basically forcing her into it. That was obviously a plot point that has been taken out of the movie. I'm guessing it's probably to humanise her character a little bit more. She actually wants to go on this journey, she's not being forced into it.
On your own from the age of 15, reckless, aggressive, and undisciplined.
That last shot there of Captain Cassian Andor, I think was in the movie. Looks very similar, but I'm guessing a big chunk of this scene has been reshot.
This is a rebellion, isn't it? I rebel.
Bam. That was the big catch call for this movie, not only in this trailer, but they played this on TV spots, they played it in radio ads, they played this everywhere. You heard this line everywhere. This is rebellion, isn't it? I rebel. They cut this line out. I was sitting there waiting for it, and they cut it out. Now, if you notice here, I'm going to get a little bit technical here, but the camera is sitting on her left side. In the film, the camera is coming from her right side. So it looks like at some point they've changed camera angles during the actual reshoots or something like that, but that line's not in the movie. The line that actually made it into the movie, they are asking her, we want you to do this for us, we can't do it, and she turns to them and says, you're all rebels, aren't you? So it's a little bit of a twist on the line, but it's not that one big line that everyone remembers from these trailers. It wasn't in the film. Okay. I don't remember that shot, but it might have been in there, but I'm not sure. This is obviously when she has been captured and she's in that little transportation unit thing. I don't recognise it from the movie, but it could have been there, definitely.
We have a mission for you. A major weapons test is imminent. We need to know what it is and how to destroy it.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, I think a good chunk of that dialogue there was in the movie, but again, you get the impression that she's being forced into doing this from the general, the commander, or whoever he is there. Basically forcing her, is that clear? If you don't do this for you, we can charge you on all these things. And in the film, again, it's a little bit more human. She wants to do it. Okay, pause it again. This is a really awesome shot of Ben Mendelsohn as Orson Krennic standing in this Imperial starship with this awesome graphic behind us. This is a beautiful shot, and they use this in a lot of marketing. They used it in print ads, they used it on a lot of the TV spots, and of course in this trailer. I think it pops up maybe in another trailer later. Really awesome shot. This is the first good look we had at Ben Mendelsohn as Orson Krennic, and the shot didn't make it into the movie. I get a feeling that maybe some of the shots that are actually in this trailer may have even been shot especially for the trailer. Like, I can't imagine this being in the movie. It's just him standing there by himself, and the camera sort of pulls back on him. So whether this was intended to be in the movie or not, or maybe they shot a lot of stuff that was just for the trailer to give you a good sort of visual idea of what the movie's going to be like, I mean, that could have been a possibility as well. Alright, so we're taking a look at Forrest Whitaker's character here, Saw Gerrera. Now, it's odd because people were questioning when the second trailer came out, and the visual look of the character was different. He had a lot of hair, his suit was a little bit different, he looked a bit older. People were thinking, well, maybe they've changed his visual look during reshoots, but I don't think that's the case, because we do see him earlier in the film on like a screen panel when Galen Erso is talking to him, basically telling him that Orson Krennic has come to grab him, and we see him looking like this. So I'm guessing that this was probably a sequence that was maybe supposed to come at the beginning of the film. Maybe we're supposed to be introduced to Saw Gerrera a little bit earlier in the movie, and maybe they decided maybe there's a little bit more impact if we meet him a little bit later in the narrative. Same with Princess Leia in The Force Awakens. She was supposed to appear at the very beginning of the movie. She didn't appear until pretty much well into the second or third act of the movie. So it could be a case of that happening, or it could be a case of them going, well, the pace is a little bit slow with him in it at the beginning, so let's just cut that whole chunk out. Okay, now we're coming up to a lot of shots that aren't in the trailer. This whole dialogue here with Saw Gerrera, again, this was another iconic moment from this trailer. It really gave you an idea of what the story was going to be like. It wasn't in the movie. This is this whole sort of speech from Saw Gerrera. Either they have tried to, again, humanize his character or make his character a little bit more menacing in the movie, because he sort of comes off as a bit of an antagonist at points. Maybe they've cut it out because maybe he seems a bit soft. You know, he seems like a bit of an Obi-Wan figure in this trailer, but in the movie he's more of a renegade.
What will you do when they catch you? What will you do if they break you? If you continue to fight, what will you become?
Let's just go back a tiny bit here. This clip here, these rebels on Jeddah who have been captured by the Imperials. This wasn't in it either. Maybe it was just a bit too dark for the movie, because it's quite a dark looking sequence there. This is war. The war sequences in this movie were quite brutal, but this is like full on war. You are seeing the good guys being captured here, and it's not nice. That shot of Orson Krennic there wasn't in the movie either. That's another just really cool, just badass look at that character. He is on the ground in battle. He's getting dirty. He's going to do whatever he needs to do to get the job done. Now look how cool he looks. That wasn't in it either. And look at all those stormtroopers just dead there on the ground. That's pretty brutal. Maybe they have gone back and made this movie a little bit more clean. If we jump back just a tiny bit more too, we got this shot of Jyn, Captain Cassian Andor, and K2SO. This looks like it's come from probably the back end of the movie. It's after they have stolen the rebel plans, because you can see the plans in Jyn Erso's hand. They don't all really come out of that sequence in one bit. K2SO has been blown off the planet by this point, and of course Cassian and Jyn, their struggle to get out of the Imperial entanglement is a little harder. They don't really escape with the plans like they do in this sequence here. So it looks like the last act of the film was quite different before they went back and did reshoots. Again, looks like it's come from that back end of the original version of the movie. She's got the plans with her and they're running away. They're trying to escape. Again, it doesn't quite go down like this in the actual film itself.
What will you become?
And last, we end on this beautiful shot of Jyn Erso. This is one of my favourite shots from this trailer. I absolutely love this image. There was even promotional material of her, like a promotional still of her in this hallway. It didn't make it in the movie. Again, though, this looks like it could have been something that might have been filmed specifically for the trailer, like that shot that we saw of Orson Krennic. It sort of looks like the same kind of thing, where maybe they've just gone, let's get this cool shot for the trailer. And that brings us to the end of the teaser trailer. Now we're going to load up the first trailer. Now I think most of this was probably in the movie from what I remember, but we're going to have a look anyway, and we'll just pause it. I don't think we'll be pausing as many times though in this one, so let's have a look.
The world is coming undone. Imperial flags reign across the galaxy.
Again, another passage of dialogue from Saw Gerrera that I don't remember seeing in the movie. I'm sure he probably had a bigger role in the movie. He had more of a sort of an impact maybe on the story. I don't remember hearing that dialogue in the movie, but correct me if I am wrong.
Can you be trusted without your shackles?
Okay, again, she's coming with the shackles. Not like that in the actual film.
Let's just get this over with, shall we?
We've a mission for you.
And if you notice that there, this is what I'm talking about. That shot of Jyn there, the camera's come from this side as opposed to this side, which is where the original trailer came from. So it looks like by this point they have done reshoots and they've been able to incorporate certain shots from the reshoots into this trailer. So it's a more refined trailer showing a little bit more stuff that is actually in the movie.
A major weapons test is imminent. We need to know how to destroy it.
If you're really doing this, I want to help.
Good.
Good.
I'm not sure if I really remember that that good thing, but might have been in there. Might have been one of those things you just miss. Again,
I've been recruiting for the rebellion for a long time.
We destroyed our home. I fight the Empire now.
so a good chunk of this is definitely in the film.
As the Force wills it.
The captain says you are a friend. I will not kill you.
Thanks.
Okay, so that first little meeting between K2SO and Jyn looks like it's taken place just after their little entanglement on Jeddah, whereas in the actual film they meet quite a bit early. They meet before they land on Jeddah, so it looks like maybe in the original version of the movie they met a little bit later. And there's a nice little funny little bit of dialogue there from K2SO that didn't make the movie either.
There isn't much time. Every day they grow stronger.
There is a 97.6% chance of failure.
He means well.
Don't think that line was in it. Yeah, I don't remember seeing that. Cut out of the movie. That might have just been a case of just wasn't working pace-wise. Don't think that would have been anything to do with the reshoots or anything like that.
This is our chance to make a real difference. Are you with me?
Oh, here's a big one. This was the money shot of this trailer. This is the one bit I was waiting for the whole movie, and it got to that sequence and she's going up that platform. I thought, oh, this TIE fighter's going to come up. And it didn't happen. That shot there is actually in the movie, but the TIE fighter doesn't come up. So either they've added that to the trailer to make it look really cool, or there was this whole sort of cool sequence like TIE fighter battle up on that platform that never happened. For some reason when I was watching, I actually thought, oh, maybe Darth Vader is in that TIE fighter. It felt very reminiscent to the dogfight sequence in A New Hope where Darth Vader is piloting a TIE fighter. I thought maybe we'll get to see him pilot a TIE fighter again, but that just didn't make the cut. I was kind of disappointed by that, actually.
All the way.
So yeah, a good chunk of that trailer made the film, apart from that. So that was our first big look at Darth Vader from Rogue One. Everyone was waiting, when are we going to see Vader, when are we going to see him? And the internet went nuts. People went absolutely nuts because we got to see 1 second of Darth Vader from this movie. People got to see, yes, Rogue One, Darth Vader. And then that one shot that everyone just went absolutely mental over wasn't in the movie. Alright, so that brings us to a conclusion of the second trailer. We're going to take a look at the last one now. And I think once again, we've got to the point where reshoots have well and truly been done. This is October 13, 2016. This was published. So by this point, the movie's probably at a pretty decent wrap. And most of the stuff that's in the trailer in this one was in the movie. So let's have a play.
Jin, whatever I do it to protect you. So you understand?
I understand.
Beautiful shots here. And I'm so glad that that sequence was left in the film. All good so far. All of it made the cut. So here, this is Jin being taken out of the
Our
shackles.
rebellion is all that remains to push back the Empire.
And there we go. Let's pause it right there. This is a shot of her walking into the base. Pretty much the first time. She's not in the shackles here, whereas in the first trailers we've seen her in the shackles. So there you go. I mean, that just shows you just the changes that are happening even in these trailers.
You might be able to help us.
When was the last time you were in contact with your father?
What is this?
It appears he is critical to the development of a super weapon.
If my father built this thing, we need to find him.
All right. How many do I need?
They are requesting a call sign.
It's, Rogue One.
That line wasn't in either from K2SO. I'm guessing that's probably, they've done that for the trailer because they want to put a little bit more of a narrative into the trailer, whereas in the actual movie it's it's a rebel officer at the other end of the line saying "What's your call sign?" as opposed to K2SO saying it. But again, that could be just something that they did for the trailer to give the trailer a little bit of a narrative. In fact, that almost looks like the exact same shot from earlier where we had Cassian say "He means well."
He means well.
They are requesting a call sign.
He means well.
They are requesting a call sign.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's actually the exact same shot. They've just dropped a little bit of dialogue over the top. And there's another shot of Darth Vader. Incredible shot here, wasn't in the movie. I don't know why.
The power that we are dealing with here is immeasurable.
This part here with Orson Krennic approaching Darth Vader. He's really just like having a go at him. He's like, look, we are dealing with a lot of power here. He's getting really aggressive up in Darth Vader's face. It didn't make the movie. In the movie, he's sort of more of a bit of a chicken, I suppose. When he goes to see Vader, he's quite scared of him. They've made Vader very, very menacing in this movie. And this clip here kind of shows that someone's standing up to Darth Vader, and in the movie it doesn't show it that way at all. Everyone's scared of him. And maybe Vader was a little bit soft in the original cut and they wanted to make him a little bit harder, a little bit more menacing. So this is something that went by the wayside there because no one stands up to Darth Vader. Come on, and Darth Vader isn't even retaliating here. Orson Krennic is right up in his face, and that's not something you would do to Darth Vader. So that's probably why that's gone by the wayside, I'd imagine.
If the Empire has this kind of power, what chance do we have?
We have hope. Rebellions are built on hope. They've no idea we're coming.
Take hold of this moment. The Force is strong.
They've used some absolutely gorgeous shots in this. I'm really happy that all of this made the movie. It's really a very stunning, visually stunning movie.
You're rebels, aren't you?
Save the rebellion! Save the dream!
That brings us to an end. So yeah, a good chunk of that, most of that trailer was in the movie. As I said, the movie would have been at a pretty tight wrap, and I think the only reason that there would have been little clips in there that weren't in the movie at this point would have been either they were just at the end of editing and they hadn't cut them out yet, or they just wanted to give the trailer a little bit of a narrative and they wanted to just throw in little bits that made that narrative a bit better. A trailer was a short film of sorts. You need to tell a narrative in the trailer. You need to get from point A to point B so the audience knows what you're talking about and gets them out to go to the movie to see the full picture. That just about covers it. That's the three major trailers. There's one other thing that I can think of. I didn't see it in any of those trailers, but there was a lot of posters with a lot of print ads, and you can even see it on this poster behind me here. The stormtroopers patrolling this battleground at the end of the movie. They're patrolling on the water. There's a big fight on the water. This is all on the big print ads. This is on, here in Melbourne, there are big billboards with these stormtroopers patrolling the water everywhere, on the side of buses, everything. And then there's these shots of the rebels on the other end, and they come into a clash in the water. That wasn't in the movie at all. I'm pretty sure there was also a shot of Jyn holding the Death Star plans as she was running through the water. It looks like this movie originally culminated in this really awesome battle scene. And maybe they had to cut it because it was a bit too violent. Who knows? I really do hope we get to see this sequence maybe as a deleted scene on the Blu-ray. This was actually featured in the behind-the-scenes Star Wars Celebration sizzle reel that was released a little while ago. So it's kind of odd that this remained part of the film's marketing right until the very end. All this promotional material was probably prepared months and months and months ago, and it probably just got to a point where it was too late to go back. But it did make for a visually stunning marketing campaign for the film. This is saying something about the power of reshoots and how you can really shape a movie differently after the fact. And it's proof you are still writing a movie while you're shooting it and while you're editing it. In an edit, you can really still be writing the film. You don't finish writing a film until you have locked it off. Okay, that's about it. I'm out of breath now. I've been talking for about half an hour. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was very fun for me. Actually, I hope I get a chance to do some more of these in the future. If you're brand new to the channel, please, after the jump, hit subscribe, and I hope to see you again in the future. Until then, guys, take care, and I hope you have a magical day.